In the heart lab, we're focusing on, well, the heart. And you should understand the structures and know them well on all of the models. I am likely to ask about 9 questions about the heart on the lab final. So, this is the heart. This is the right side of the heart because it's the patient's right. This is the left side of the heart. Now, we have these 2 cute little ears right here called auricles. And these are the structures that house the right and left atria. So on the lab exam, if I ask you what is the external structure, I want right auricle, I want left auricle. Now, this blue thing coming off is actually an artery. It's the pulmonary trunk branching in to the left and right pulmonary arteries. That's coming from the right ventricle, which is under here. So this is an artery because it has the same layers as an artery, and it is going away from the heart. So don't let its blue color confuse you. So again, this is the pulmonary trunk, this is the left pulmonary artery, and this is the right. This is the aorta right here, and it has 3 branches coming off of it: the brachiocephalic artery, the left carotid artery, and the left subclavian artery. This is going to branch into the right subclavian and the right carotid. This is the superior vena cava. It ends right there. This is a brachiocephalic vein. This is a brachiocephalic vein. So you have 2 brachiocephalic veins. You have the left and the right, but only 1 brachiocephalic artery. Now the aorta has 2 coronary arteries coming off of it. This is the right coronary artery. It goes into the atrioventricular sulcus, and it goes around the heart. There's an artery going down here called the right marginal artery. On this side, you have the left coronary artery, and it's very short. It stops right there. And again, this is actually coming off of the aorta. It's going underneath the pulmonary trunk. Now, this is going to go around the left atrioventricular sulcus, and it's called the circumflex because it circumnavigates. This artery right here, that is the left marginal artery. It is not on my review guide. As far as I'm concerned, this left marginal artery does not exist, just to make your life easier. This is the anterior intraventricular artery. It is in the anterior intraventricular sulcus. And I have to ask you, what is the artery or what is the structure? Artery, anterior intraventricular artery. Structure, anterior intraventricular sulcus. This is the great cardiac vein. It is going to take blood all the way from the apex right here. By the way, this is the apex. Goes all the way back up through the atrioventricular sulcus, all the way back to the back of the heart. When I open this up, I can see the internal chambers. This is the left atria. This is the right atria. So I'm going to ask, what is the chamber? For the auricles, I'm going to ask, what is the external structure? And you have the pulmonary veins coming into the left atria. They're veins because they're going from the lungs to the heart. This is the left side, it's the patient's left. So this is the bicuspid valve. These are chordae tendineae. Those are the heartstrings. This is the valve. So I'll either ask you, what is the structure? Chordae tendineae. Or what is the valve? Bicuspid. And this is the left atria. Over on this side, we have the right ventricle. This is the left ventricle. We have the tricuspid valve because it has 3 of these cusps. Bicuspid only has 1, 2. This valve right here is the pulmonary semilunar valve. It exits into the pulmonary trunk. To see this pulmonary valve, you actually have to look underneath this heart. So again, right atria, left ventricle, left ventricle, tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, pulmonary semilunar valve. The aortal semilunar valve is under here. And then this, if I point to the middle of it, is the septum. So that's why it's divided there. This is one of our other heart models. So this is the superior vena cava, inferior is down here. This is the right atria, tricuspid valve, right ventricle. This is the septum, pulmonary semilunar valve, pulmonary trunk, brachiocephalic veins, aorta, arch of the aorta, brachiocephalic artery, left carotid artery. If I switch to this one, I then have the bicuspid valve. These are the chordae tendineae. This is the left atria. This is the left ventricle. Notice the walls of the left side are considerably thicker than the walls of the right side. And this is the aortal semilunar valve right here. That is the left carotid coronary. This is that heart that has its cover on it. So this is the anterior interventricular sulcus with the anterior interventricular artery and anterior and the great cardiac vein. These are the cute little auricles, so left and right auricle. This is the bottom of that heart, and let's move it a little bit so you can see all of it. So this is the right coronary artery, and it's branching into the posterior interventricular artery. This is the small cardiac vein right there. And we have the great cardiac vein coming here, the middle cardiac vein coming here, and they go to this coronary sinus in the back. That drains the blood from coronary circulation into the right atria, which is right here, and we're actually looking through the inferior vena cava. This, where all the vessels are, is the posterior interventricular sulcus. So again, I have to ask you artery, vein, or structure. And this is, or these are, the 4 pulmonary veins. This is the back of our big heart model. So this is the inferior vena cava. This is the coronary sinus. Small cardiac vein, middle cardiac vein, great cardiac veins coming this way. This is the posterior interventricular sulcus with the posterior interventricular artery, and the circumflex artery is going this way. The right coronary artery is going this way. Pulmonary veins. This is our large heart on its side. So this is the arch of the aorta. This is the descending aorta. That is the left subclavian, This is the pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins. So this is the circumflex artery coming around. There's our marginal artery. This is our great cardiac vein. This would be the left auricle. So this is our model heart. It is on our lung model, and it's similar to the ones inside the mannequins as well. So this is the septum right here. This is the pulmonary semilunar valve. This is the aortal semilunar valve. This is the left ventricle, left ventricle. This is the right ventricle. This is the left atria. This is the right atria. This is the bicuspid valve. This is the tricuspid valve. So again, I'll ask, what is the valve? What are the chambers? This is the pulmonary trunk. This is the left pulmonary artery. It's an artery because it goes away from the heart. These are the pulmonary veins going back to the heart. So the arch of the aorta, the first branch is the brachiocephalic artery going up to the neck, and it branches to the right carotid and right subclavian. This is the left subclavian. This is the left carotid. These are the brachiocephalic veins. They split into the subclavian veins, so subclavian, and the jugular veins. And then this is the thyroid vein going to the thyroid gland. That's the diaphragm. This is the inferior vena cava. So this is the lung model. Again, I took the heart out, so the heart does come out. Inferior vena cava, superior vena cava. Pulmonary veins. There's actually pulmonary veins on this side too. They merge into the back. This is the aortal semilunar valve. This is the pulmonary semilunar valve. This is the aorta. This is the superior vena cava. Again, that is the apex. On the back side of that, these are the pulmonary arteries right here. These are the pulmonary veins. That's the coronary sinus. And that concludes the heart. Look at our heart models. Look at the different models. Each of them has a slightly different structure. And hopefully this helps you with the heart online activity that I am making you do. Thank you very much.